The biggest mistake I see gardeners make after the last vegetables are harvested is putting the tools away and forgetting about the soil. I used to do the same thing. I would add compost, manure, and fertilizer, then wonder why the plants were still small and the harvest kept getting weaker. The problem was not always a lack of food. Sometimes the soil itself was making that food difficult for the plants to use. If your garden has been giving you smaller crops year after year, if the leaves often look pale, the roots stay weak, or sorrel, horsetail, moss, and certain weeds seem happier than your vegetables. There may be something happening underneath your feet that you cannot see. The soil may be too acidic. And this is where autumn can make a real difference. After the harvest, the ground is open, easier to work, and there is time for a lime material to react gradually with the soil before spring arrives. Older gardeners understood this without fancy equipment. They watched the weeds, watched the crops, and paid attention to how the land changed from one season to the next. Today, we can check soil acidity much more accurately with a laboratory test or a simple pH meter, but the basic lesson has not changed. You do not always need more fertilizer. Sometimes you first need to make the soil ready to use what you already give it. There is one simple autumn step that many gardeners overlook, and if your soil really is acidic, it can change how the entire bed behaves next season. I learned this lesson the hard way because for years I thought yellow leaves and small harvests meant I simply needed to feed the plants more. So I added compost, manure, and fertilizer, sometimes even more than the garden really needed. But the plants still struggled. The reason is simple. When soil becomes too acidic, some nutrients that plants need are harder for the roots to take up, even when those nutrients are already sitting in the ground. At the same time, elements such as aluminum and manganese can become more available in forms that are not helpful for sensitive roots. You can keep adding fertilizer, but if the soil reaction is wrong, you may be spending money without getting the result you expect. That is why I now look at the soil first instead of immediately reaching for another bag of fertilizer. There is also an old way to get a rough idea. Take a little soil and add some ordinary vinegar. If it fizzes strongly, the soil contains materials that react with the acid, although this is only a rough home test and not a real measurement of pH. Today, I prefer a proper soil test when possible, because the next step should depend on what the soil actually needs, and that is where autumn becomes especially useful. I remember hearing older farmers talk about sour ground when I was young, and they did not need a machine to tell them that something was wrong. They watched what grew naturally. Sorrel, horsetail, moss, and certain stubborn weeds were treated as signs that the land needed attention. In many Ukrainian villages, people also saved wood ash from their stoves and used it carefully on the garden because they knew it could change the condition of the soil. In Policia, where naturally acidic soils were common, liming was especially important. In the Carpathian regions, wood ash was widely used, while on the rich black soils of other areas, lime was usually needed only on particular problem patches. Later, during the Soviet period, liming became a large agricultural practice, with limestone materials spread across collective farm fields. The tools changed over time, from hand spreading to machines and modern spreaders, but the principle stayed the same. Do not wait until the harvest has collapsed before looking after the soil. I still think that is one of the most useful lessons from the old way of farming. But there is something important here. Not every garden needs lime, and not every lime material should be used in the same way. That is where most mistakes begin. When I decide that a garden really needs liming, I do not simply grab the first bag I see. This is another place where a little patience saves money and prevents problems. For most ordinary garden soil, finely ground limestone is a gentle choice and works gradually. Dolomite flour is another useful option, especially when the soil also needs magnesium, because dolomite contains both calcium and magnesium. Then there is hydrated lime, often called slaked lime or quick-acting lime in everyday garden talk. It reacts much faster, so I treat it with more respect and never use more than the soil actually requires. Chalk can also be used as a softer material when suitable. The old rule I still follow is simple. The finer the material is ground, the faster it can react with the soil. Large pieces may sit there for a long time before doing much. But faster is not automatically better. Too much lime can push the soil too far in the other direction and create new nutrient problems. That is why I would rather test the soil, choose the right material, and apply a measured amount in autumn than guess and hope. And there is one practical step after spreading it that makes the whole treatment much more useful. Once I have chosen the right material, I pay more attention to how I spread it than many people expect. Lime needs to be distributed as evenly as possible because one heavy patch and one empty patch will not give you the same result. I spread it over the cleaned bed, then work it into the soil rather than leaving a white layer sitting on top. For an ordinary garden bed, I aim to incorporate it into roughly the upper 15 to 20 centimeters of soil, where the roots will eventually grow. Autumn is useful here because the ground is usually easier to work after the summer crop is gone, and the moisture and time through the colder months allow the material to begin reacting gradually. There is one mistake I learned to avoid. I do not throw lime and a strong mineral fertilizer into the same spot and mix everything together. It is better to separate the jobs, especially with nitrogen and phosphorus fertilizers, and give each one its own time. Compost and well-aged manure fit much more naturally into this autumn routine. And if I have enough room, I sometimes add a green manure crop such as mustard or rye after the soil work is finished. But there is one crop I treat differently, because what helps most vegetables can cause trouble for potatoes if the timing is wrong. There is one detail I never ignore when planning autumn liming, and that is what I intend to grow there next year. Potatoes are the clearest example. They generally tolerate and often prefer a somewhat more acidic soil, so I would not lime a potato bed heavily right before planting. Too much lime can raise the soil reaction more than the crop needs and may increase the risk of potato scab. I learned to think about liming as part of crop rotation rather than a treatment for one plant. If a bed needs correction, I prefer to do it in autumn and plan the following crops with that change in mind. This also gives the lime time to work before the next growing season. Another thing that matters is the quality of the material itself. Fine powder usually reacts more readily than coarse pieces, so I do not judge a product only by how cheap the bag looks. I want something suitable for the soil and easy to spread evenly. Some older gardeners used wood ash when lime was not available, and that can also affect soil reaction. But ash should be used carefully because its strength can vary. The real secret is not using more. It is using only what the soil needs, at the right time, for the right crop. So when the garden is empty and the last plants are gone, I no longer see autumn as the end of the season. I see it as the time to quietly prepare the ground for the next one. First I check the soil if I can, then I lime only the areas that actually need correction, spread the material evenly, and work it into the upper soil. I add compost or well-aged organic matter when the bed needs it, and sometimes I follow with mustard or rye as a cover crop. There is nothing complicated about this, and much of it costs very little if you already make your own compost or save clean wood ash. The important thing is patience. Lime is not an emergency treatment that fixes a poor harvest overnight. It is a long-term way of bringing the soil back toward a condition where plants can use nutrients more effectively. I have found that this simple autumn habit gives me something more valuable than one quick result. It gives me a better starting point every spring, and once you understand what your soil is telling you, you stop treating every weak plant with another handful of fertilizer. You start fixing the ground first. That is the old lesson I would keep, because the next harvest really begins when this year's harvest is finished.